Hello everyone, welcome to Market Astrology and Horoscope. Full Moon in 27 degrees Scorpio that occurs on May 18. For those who are new to my channel, my name is Yasko. And when I say May 18, it depends on where you are, but just think in terms of 17, 18, and let's get started. The full moon brings unforeseen matters. This full moon in Scorpio brings unforeseen matters to the public attention. This could be about a divorce due to matters concerning sex. Perhaps it's something you never expected that person to do. It's about the dark side of people that we misjudged. This could also be about sadomasochism or even such sex with minors. It is something you just may not have suspected. Money too is involved, and it is about that salacious event that takes place in the world of rich, young, or the money world. Another topic could be about body organs being sold. A massive number of bodies could be discovered too. That seems to be one of the topics because it's in Scorpio. This full moon is in Scorpio, so it brings Scorpio matters to the public. You could hear about mobs or even sex enhancing surgical procedures or drugs that can also sex related drugs that can also make headlines. Flooding will be a problem, and there could even be many people who could lose their livelihood in the disaster. There could be news of death camps or massive killings or a group of people dying en masse. In the US, there could be a scandal or discoveries of some high official being reported for some illicit act. And there is a lot of things that are not on the up and up. Coercive actions are being taken by people, and there will be focus on taxes aside from tariffs also. This new moon, the full moon brings the power play and urges to control by coercive actions or arm twisting. Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Maryland, New Orleans, and even Wisconsin, somewhere in Wisconsin, could be the places that could be in the media. Syria and Korea could again come back on the news. For Korea, it could be that a lot of garbage could come out. Again, things are not on the up and up yet. Well, it will come out. Someone could be pulling the strings or attaching the strings to get their way. Just not sure who is doing what. Again, you see, Scorpio is about underhandedness also. So keep that in mind. The top officials from Congress or Treasury or both could be in battle with the leader. This is nothing new, but this time it could be brought to the public in some unfair way. The word unfair is used because that's what this Scorpio full moon indicates. A Scorpio is about power and control of it over others or things. Hence, people play dirty. They get in the mud and not afraid to get muddy or bloody to win their way. It could be called a do or die moment. There could be a news of someone of high profile also passing away too under the Scorpio moon. Health and human services matters, especially where it concerns housing, also could come to fore. And there could be Red Cross involvements, birth, as well as mortality rates could also be discussed. This is more so in case of the youth or child mortality. Money matters rank high on the topic for many nations. In the US, student debt crisis come up again for debate or for serious discussion. Why this full moon shines its light on the student loan and the fact that this nation's younger workers are burdened with high debt. Can the government tackle this matter? The US dollar or the nation's money could be under manipulation too. The stock market undergoing upheaval is going to be okay. This is manipulation. Again, it's about control of the nation's currency, ensuring its assets, especially its banks and insurance companies, could be the reason. But they're somehow involved. Banking is definitely involved. Currency is involved. Money is involved. Debt is involved. In response to possible Fed's future actions, when the bond market has a crisis, other nations are taking measures to protect their currencies. Again, well, look at what's happening in Turkey. So again, this is about manipulations by nations, not just the US. This applies throughout the world. Engaging in currency swaps is a manipulation to protect commercial interests. Therefore, this is about money, banks, debt inclusive of national debt and personal debt of the people. And that personal debt issue does come up, and this is why I'm bringing up student loans. Have you been keeping up with Bitcoin and Satoshi Nakamoto? Manipulation, maybe, because there's a lot of intrigue right there with that name. Americans are doing well, although shocked by what's happened in the stock market, as well as their home values not appreciating. The stock market shakeup is about to come to a close. China in the Bull Bear Cafe 2020 USA. I think I predicted crisis or catastrophe going into July 4th. I'm sorry. This is not China. It's Bull Bear Cafe 2020 USA, not China. China has a separate China, Bull Bear Cafe China 2019. I'm sorry, it's not 2020, but 2019 USA. The 2020 and for US and China is not out yet. There was money or currency issue that is affecting the top. That is what I stated for China. And that seems to be manifesting itself fully. I just cannot determine that this full moon is a deal maker. This is why I said in the Bull Bear Cafe that I don't see a trade deal, and it didn't happen. If anything, this full moon brings to the fore the debt, taxes, currency manipulations, and it's become a hodgepodge of everything. This trade deal is now entering a downright nasty war. Someone is quick to cut out. This could be cuts to the food or agricultural things. The opponent, not necessarily China, remember there are so many players here, are now in a state of emotional anger. Again, it's about playing dirty. When I say emotional anger, that really doesn't happen until about this week, mid part of this week. What was that 15, 16, going into the full moon? And see, war itself is about unforeseen matters, and you don't fight a war openly. There is behind the scenes strategizing, and you don't reveal to what I'm saying is that you don't reveal to your opponent what you're going to do. This matter is already coming to light, and we all know about that. First, or at least some of us do. First, the U.S. is in a Cold War struggle with China. As President Bush said long ago, going into the Iraq War, you're either with us or against us. That's what he said. With us or against us was the component of his speech. And this war uh, is a warning, I think, to the Allies. This full moon in Scorpio expresses itself very well when it comes to that, because Secretary Pompeo was in the UK expressing to them the consequences of continuing business with Huawei, because Huawei is a threat to U.S. national security. Why are there so much concern? I think, why with UK? I think it was because David Cameron took the lead in joining China's AIIB in spite of President Obama's urging not to join the AIIB, Asia Infrastructure Investment Bank. So I think that's when everything kind of fell apart for the European allies. So I can kind of understand why U.S. is being very clear about do's and don'ts. Watch the focus on currency manipulation come up, and especially, I know I keep repeating this currency manipulation, but I want you to understand that this is about currency manipulation come up, and especially on China's grasp of the US debt. That's another form of manipulation. That's possible under this full moon. Also, under this full moon, the light is cast on the Cold War, that is not just military maneuvers in the Indo-Pacific and Persian Gulf, but that the U.S. is willing to forego profits to protect its assets. This Scorpio full moon is also about floods, catastrophe, and disasters in different parts of the world too, and not just in the U.S. There could even be mining or mining-related crises. And if you go back and listen to that China 2019, I talk about, I think it was mining too. I talk about some catastrophe that could be related to mining. In the U.S., with that backdrop, the imminence of war is very clear. This is reverberated throughout Europe and Asia. And you may want to revert back to the Bulbert Cafe China 2019, as well as Bulbert Cafe USA 2019, because I do mention about July 4th, the crisis happening right before July 4th. Then read up on, or listen to, or you can read up on Indochina region. I think U.S. is ready to take on China should it invade Taiwan. The full moon in Scorpio presents clearly the clear and present danger of being on the wrong side. What is Scorpio about this time? Money, tariffs, economic sanction, debt, currency, and again, this is a warning. Don't do this. That's a Scorpio message. Keep your eye on currency, standard of living, GDP, debt, tariff war. Because, see, Scorpio, to Scorpio, this loyalty is very, very important. But you betray a Scorpio, well, it could be very, very dangerous. So that's what this Scorpio full moon is about. It's a warning. Don't do this or else. So I guess the question is, in all this, especially in relation to the Indo-Pacific area, is that matters regarding Uyghurs could get full-blown attention. I mean, some people in this country do not know who Uyghurs are, but they're the ethnic minorities. They're Muslim. They're ethnic minorities in China. And a lot of things are happening. It's UIGU No, Uighurs, Uyghurs in China. You may want to just look it up, but that matter really could come full blown. And I guess if you're on the wrong side, I'm talking to allies, uh, this matter could, raise the morals, and the full moon will just take care of it. So